All right, thank you guys for being on here with us. Alessandra, Charlie, Joseph, Monica, Terry Lynn, myself. Here we go. Session number 8, capture leads with social media. So a big recurring theme with what you're going to see in Ignite, and especially in the shifted market. And this originally came out April this year. So they've been talking about a shift in Keller Williams now for at least the last 4 years. You know, obviously in 19 going into 20, we were expecting a change in the market. Nobody would have guessed pandemic, and nobody guessed that they would have dropped rates so low that it would just drive the housing market through the roof, right? So that wasn't a shift. They considered that a pivot. And that pivot was a brief stop down, flattened for like 3 weeks, maybe 3 months. And then all of a sudden everything shot through the roof, right? And that's what we've been living in from April, mid-April, May of 2020, all the way through April of this year. Now, some of us, like my wife and I, we did notice a slowdown in January with a lot of our getting under contracts and pending. We could feel it in January, but it just wasn't getting that, right? The interest rates had gone up, but there was still such a high demand, you know, that we were still selling at a fair clip. When this portion of Ignite came out, and if you've been following through, and even if you just go on a KW Connect and read through it, what you'll notice is that real estate expert, lead generation, and lead follow-up, these 3 pieces here are all tied to shift. So like, as I was studying the material back in April, when we first ran through this, I was like, holy cow, they're teaching us shift, right? And if you talk to team leaders, people on big teams, a really good one is, and I keep mentioning, I get in trouble for this, but the Delgado and Associates over at KW Encino, you know, so they were highly known for nothing but cold calls. I mean, aggressive, notice of default, expired, for sale by owner, they still do that. The big change that I've noticed is that they're pushing hard on everyone calling their sphere of influence, working their social media, working their database, putting a face to the voice, putting a face to the name, and being out there. So what you're seeing here is the offense generated by not only major teams, but high producers. Like, you know, I'm not saying my wife and I were Stephanie the Taco, right? Yet at the same time, we understand that, hey, all the low-hanging fruit is right there on Facebook, right there on Instagram, right there on our cell phones, right? They're just there. They know us, they know us, they like us. A little bit of education, a little bit of conversation, and they're going to trust us with their real estate agents, right?
Is this your personal page, Philip, or your business page?
My personal page is like, and you'll see it today. I kind of fell off a little bit. It's now kind of like 50-50, like personal business. What you're going to see today is about posting 80% personal, 20% business.
Okay.
And then on your business page, have at it, right? Go nuts. And I say go nuts, meaning like, hey, our team, our group, us, we use it for really just ads, you know, Facebook and Instagram ads on through KW Command. That's the only reason why we even created the business page. Was to create ads. So I bring this all up to kind of tie in our topic of capture leads in social media. So social media, if you ever read Shift or will read Shift, is the equivalent of capturing online leads, right? And now we have social media as our platform of creating that. We're going to talk about the 10-5-1 engagement system, something we've been doing since day one of Ignite, posting practices, social media strategies, and we'll go right into recaps and ahas. It takes time to learn something, more time to implement it, and even longer to approach mastery of it. And for those who are online with us this morning, we had gentlemen talk about cold calling. And there's a skill behind it. There's a listening factor and all that stuff that's vested into it. And granted, he calls around, you know, when he started calling, he was calling commercial owners. If you ever heard Scotty, supernatural, just not supernatural like a super person, super being, but he's very natural in his conversation. I actually thought he was talking to like friends and family until I realized, oh, that was like a cold call, you know, but he sounded so natural. And the idea that he's been doing it for years, he just kind of made it part of his vocabulary and his way of mirror matching and allowing his superpowers to kind of take over, which is being very personable. In something like this, you know, if we're going to dedicate ourselves to our sphere of influence or a specific geographic farm or a specific network group, there's going to be a little lag time. You know, even though we've been using social media, I don't know, 2007 or 8 or 9, there's still a lag time to do it on purpose in terms of real estate. right? Or whatever it is that we're looking at mastering. I'm just using social media because this is the class. But when you read this quote, it takes time to learn something, more time to implement it, and even longer to approach mastery of it. What do you guys think about it when you guys hear this quote?
Is we learn something, we're all excited. And then, like me, even just learning command, then you get caught up in the trying to learn how to implement it
Oh yeah.
and not even close to mastery. I'm like kindergarten, so
Yeah.
I just think there's a big gap between the learning it and really getting to do it, know it.
And you know something, if KW does their job, which is consistently grow the platform, then we'll never be in a place where we fully master command, right? Because I remember when people said, oh God, I finally mastered E-Edge, right? I finally got it. Well, when you finally got something, that means that whatever you got stopped being effective, right? Because the world around us is constantly shifting, pivoting, changing. They call it the world has changed and never changed, right? Religion is changing and never changing. Whatever it is, there's always going to be some kind of growth. So to say that I've mastered command, oh please, there's like so many like widgets on there. I probably will never get it. But if I get like 4 things out of it, a sustainable way to follow up, a lead follow-up pipeline, ads, and just keeping all the data in one place.
Yeah.
We got the W.
Yeah.
All the other stuff that can be created through their flyers and I don't know what else you can do on there. It's a lot. Yeah, it's deep. I mean, we figured out referrals to a degree, right? One of the things before I move on, even longer to approach mastery of it, A, it never ends, but B, there's a boredom in it that some people just quit after it gets too boring. And I'll tell you now, real estate out of all the places, boring will get you rich because it's very simplistic schedule, very simplistic dialogue and skill set. It's not rocket science. It's literally just a little creativity on the questions we ask and listening. So we role played earlier, like following up an open house lead, interest rate for 7%. Hey, Monica, are you more concerned about the price of the home that you're buying into or the monthly payment that you're going to make on that house going forward? Monthly payment, right? What if we were able to match the price of the home with your payment and still get you the house on your terms and the type of home that you want, right? And these kind of, excuse me, we build a bubble around that and off we go. The 10-5-1 engagement. As you know, social media is a powerful and free marketing tool. Underlining the word free. Free.
Yeah.
Expand your fear with your smartphone, engage with your followers. I've created this stand if all we did was focus on our sphere and social media, you would never have to look. Knock a whole door, right? You can literally make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars selling real estate from the office until it's time to meet a client, see a house, stuff of that nature.
I'd love to do that.
Yeah. Terry Lynn, you're not too far away from doing it. Because if you think about it, the only time we should be out in front of clients maybe to actually physically see their house. Yeah, and I would even argue that sending them an agreement can be sent, like we've done all of our agreements for a listing. We actually get them all DocuSign.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah.
Even if I meet them, I want them to DocuSign it.
Yeah.
Because then you don't have any issues with legitimacy on a signature date or time or.
Besides that, it's also a big time saver.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years ago, we were driving to and from.
Yes.
Oh, we missed a signature. Let's go back. Or there was the angst of getting a listing agreement signed. You know what I mean? Like, as silly as it sounds.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, Philip, just sell my house. I want to do it for X amount. Can you do it for that X amount? And then I negotiate.
Right.
And then we do it. We get the sign off on the commission, whether it's 6% or 5.5%, 5.25%, whatever. We get it signed off on, and then into the business we go. And a lot of times, I mean, with our operations director, it's a different case, but even before Maureen was with us, it was just me just driving to meet the photographer and the stager and real minor stuff. Nothing like, okay, I'm gonna go bang doors out, for the next couple of hours. So this is how many posts do you like a day? If we can focus on 10 a day and at least make 5 reach out to your market by commenting 5 times, and a lot of us can probably see birthdays is a good one, but on birthdays, just so you know, it gets so flooded in their inbox. I mean, they'll probably see it, like I saw the birthday messages, and I was so grateful for it, you know, but it's like a flush, like a rush of hundreds, in some cases thousands, for some people, thousands of birthdays. Still do it, but try and comment on one of their actual posts, right? As best you can. I would consider that the 5, and then birthdays I consider the bonus. And then 1 DM, like one direct message, 1 original post from you, 1 shared post, and you're not posting every day. I mean, if you're into that routine, that's awesome. I would just do one or the other, like 1 shared post, 1 direct message, 1 original post, and then build it from there. Now, one would argue you need 5 posts, 7 posts a week. I don't know, I do a couple, and then we do a video once a week.
Yeah, your posts that you're talking about, are those all real estate related?
Not all of them.
No.
Yeah, you'll see this right now. Posting
Okay.
practices, 80%
Oh,
personal, 20% business.
Oh, on the post.
Yeah, right, and ideally, Charlie and Alessandra, are you guys on Instagram, Facebook, with like personal pages or business pages or both?
Mine's a personal page, that I do post probably 20%, maybe less, real estate items, or hi, got my real estate license.
Hey, yeah.
And then I post a lot of reels, and some do really well, and then some do less well. With my brother-in-law, we do a lot of fitness things to make people laugh. And so it's funny, it'll show you how much engagement you've had, or sorry, how many accounts you've reached.
Right.
And it's amazing. I get that some of them are just scrolling through, but I know I have to be very intentional. I actually make content days, and like once a week or once every like 10 days, we'll make a day and film, and I it's actually like hours, and we'll take the time to do that, and like take pictures just to have all the content batched.
There you go.
It's a pain,
Awesome.
but
That's
I
great.
think it helps.
Yeah, Monica and I were talking about time blocking a day or an hour or a week or something like that, just to like have everything like set up instead of just trying to create it on the, at least for me, trying to create it on the fly. How about you, Charlie? Do you keep a personal or business or both type of accounts for Facebook?
My Twitter account is business and personal, and I'm hesitant to change and make a new Twitter account with real estate because I have such a strong following on Twitter. Instagram is a personal. I do have my DRE up there. I think I have it also on my Twitter, I think, and Facebook, because I was 30 years in journalism. We were told not to use Facebook anymore. So my Facebook is there, but it's locked down. And it'll be a long process trying to get that reopened and not spam so much from Facebook. Like that was the biggest problem with the Facebook. So yeah, I know you guys want us to open up our Facebook pages. Really trying to do a 10-step program to do that.
Well, no,
Yes, if you've ever,
if you're using Facebook, Twitter is fabulous. It's really where we find ourselves connecting the most. Like I haven't used Snapchat really in a long time. I mean, I think I re-downloaded the app just to see if any of my friends are on there, type of thing. And it's only like 8 people, right? So and then on Twitter, I have no footprint, right? But I enjoy Twitter. I enjoy the people I follow on there and some of the tweets that pop up. And I'll tweet every so often. But the key is to use the social media platform that you're going to engage in the most, right? Like Facebook and Instagram are big ones, but some people engage on YouTube, right? People engage on Twitter, on TikTok, on LinkedIn.
I'm on LinkedIn, but it's professional, but it's I don't post a lot there. And again, that's another one that I just get so many messages from them. I'm just like, all right, so. The TikTok, I have people sending me more TikToks about anything than I used to have. People sending me a lot of tweets, or ask me to comment about different things. But now it's just TikTok and everything from, home construction to, I'm just getting TikToks. I very rarely get a tweet anymore. It's kind of weird. So what do you think about TikTok, using that platform?
I have created a page for us for Team La Familia. Go follow if you want. We have I believe over 200 videos. We came up with something named Sabia Saturday since the quarantine started. that was something that we can found out that we can actually reach to our crowd or into the families and we couldn't meet face to face. So that was what kept us alive in a way to just put it in TikTok, save it to Instagram page, our business Instagram page, you know, link it to Facebook. And that was our other mode of conversation with people, you know, so they will call or say, hey, I like your video. Oh my God, that was great information. And that was just a, you know, a way to start conversations with people. So, I mean,
A lot of it was conversation with our sphere. Julio, Barragon, one of our clients, our friends and client, he was like one of the first ones to say, I love you to be a Saturday. I always look forward to them. And now we're selling packs.
Yeah.
Right.
and you do that online though, this Saturday thing, you're not meeting somewhere.
No, that's recording. Monica reminded me to record some videos. I'll record 1 to 2 minute content. I text it over to her and she's our minister of propaganda. She just kind of edits it and does whatever she likes with the videos. So that's been like something, if you know, for those who want the one thing, the idea is pick one subject, one small domino, and then work that one piece, right? Like we're not masters of TikTok, but Monica took one simple piece such as creating some via Saturday videos and engagement, right? And then on Facebook, on Facebook, we kind of delegated to our virtual assistant, but we just said, hey, Josh, fail forward, practice on posting whatever your heart desires. Just cannot be like, obviously, you know, we went through like the ethics and everything with them, but we kept it super simple. Stats, be a nerd, you know, put up stats, put up like our open houses, all that stuff. And then on our Instagram page, excuse me, I post on there, Monica posts on there, and that's kind of like a hodgepodge of stuff. And then our personal, it's just us, right? And it sounds like a lot of stuff that, you know, we're doing like alternating days, or when something mega happens, like happen to have 5 minutes, I'll post on there. But again, just use what you're using already, right? I think we took on to TikTok because it was just starting to gain so much traction. We finally did it. There's a social media exercise on page 8.4. Which apps are popular? Did anyone use a social media platform and currently don't use? Set up a profile and that. On that page, or on that thread, I don't have the graphic, but if you look at the biggest user of social media or internet footprint, it's going to be Google. Right? Google is like the pond or the ocean that everyone else kind of swims in and traverses in. After Google, it's going to be YouTube. So that is a subset of Google, but the next biggest user on the internet is YouTube. After YouTube, the next biggest one is Meta. And if you broke down Meta, that would be Facebook first, then Instagram. And then there's an argument that now TikTok would be like the thing after Instagram, right? And they're like,
Did Meta buy TikTok?
huh?
Did Meta buy TikTok?
No. I'm just saying, like, if you go Google is like the biggest thing that everyone's on, followed by YouTube, followed by Facebook, Instagram, and then TikTok. And then those would be like your top 5 social media platforms. And then there's a bunch of others. There's LinkedIn, there's Twitter, there's people who are still on Periscope, I think, you know, I mean, Snapchat, there's like a ton of stuff, you know, and there's like a ton of online games too that are just kind of like bottom of the list. But if you just pick those big 5 and just say, hey, we're gonna like create a Google business page, well, great, now you're in the Google sphere. Great, we're gonna take our 2-minute clips, our TikTok videos, and we're gonna post them on YouTube, like Monica's been doing. She literally just takes all of our old content and just reshares it onto YouTube. So now you're putting yourself out there in these larger pools. But whatever it is, be the queen or king of LinkedIn. If that's where you connect with like 500 people at a time or 50 people out of 100 or whatever it is, connect with your sphere there. You know, don't just start anything new because we told you to, or you heard it on a really cool YouTube. You know, find what resonates with you, especially Twitter. Like that is it's become very, or it always has been a very powerful tool. But the people who are on there with you, they know you, they like you, they may trust you potentially with real estate. Keep that side strong. Here's the 80%. You know, stick to what you enjoy most. And to Charlie's point, I know that as realtors, all of us here in the room and online and everyone in the office, you know, we can't post anything that would be reported as, what were the keys on that?
Violation.
The license. Go ahead, Charlie.
Oh, I thought you were saying violation of their Twitter rule or the various platform rules. I think
No,
I know.
there was one where if you post something that's basically racist and discriminatory
Oh,
and was reported, you could actually just lose your license. I mean, I like the kind of stuff that would be considered funny. But for someone else, they could consider that very like,
I don't like anything like that.
oh, I mean, I like stuff, but I mean, the stuff I like might be considered like, oh, that's whatever. But I definitely can't post about it.
Sound like my husband.
I know.
You can't post,
They
I
have
think
trouble.
My husband
you
does.
can't post what? I'm confused.
Oh, sorry, you can't post stuff that would be considered discriminatory against fair
Or
housing.
racist or crude or
Racist,
rude.
yeah, which you
Okay.
would think would be a normal thing to say and, not do if people have lost their license over things that have been taken that way. I mean, it's just a kind of a sidebar. It's not, you're not gonna see it in the slides. I don't think so. I went through them. But any of that stuff can be reported and then it can go to like I don't want to say grand jury, but it can go to like an
Right.
ethics board. And there's a chance that you could, not only be suspended, but eventually expelled from practicing real estate.
Can you give an example, or did I missed it, of someone writing something benign and then it being misinterpreted?
Well, I know that's happened for sure, because we've seen some cases on NAR and CAR, where people actually had to defend, they literally posted a meme or what we would consider a meme, and then someone else reported it as a housing violation, right? So that is something to look out for. If you think it's gonna offend someone harshly, just
Don't do it.
don't do it. Absolutely.
Don't upload, what is that cartoon where they obnoxious little guys or something and they make racist things,
South Park.
It's South Park, don't post South Park.
Well, I mean, I kid. So,
But okay, then so the personal post, which, because we're in such a volatile political stage, I pretty much stay away from everything. And then also if it's religion, I kind of stay away from that too, because it's really hard, because I would like to talk to people about different things, but you can't engage because it's a very harsh environment out there. Anyhow, on personal interest posts, pets, art, cooking, this is all good. This is what I normally do. Nature, people love nature pictures, flowers, hikes, whatever. That's relatable, and that seems to keep the followers following.
oh yeah, if it helps, my mentor, I wasn't with this company, but we would network every Friday for a number of years, Bud Morrow over at Rodeo Realty. And he said, Philip, I post whatever I want to post. I own, I'm basically financially free. I don't need any more business, and I can deal with headaches, because it keeps me busy, right? It just gives me something to do. So I'll
Right.
post whatever I want. I'm a Republican. I'm this, I'm that. I'm gonna just post whatever I want. But Philip, you cannot do any of that. Do not post anything political. Do not post anything about religion. Do not post anything about current events. In fact, what you're posting now about your kids and about open houses and your listings, that's all you should be posting about. And this was coming from a man who at the time was like 75, 75 or 76 years young. And he's telling me, like, and this is before things got really weird, on the scene,
Yeah.
And so we've never done it. I might post that my kids are getting baptized or whatever, but as far as like taking a stance on something, crickets. I'll put out a comment of support with my friends who are posting about stuff.
Right.
I might DM them, hey, keep up whatever you're doing, awesome. But you won't see me reshare nothing. You'll have to look up our like registered affiliations and all that stuff. But yeah, no one will ever know, because to your point, Charlie, we just won't post about it.
I know I'm asking too many questions, but a lot of the things I'm known for and have a very good reputation. Let's just say brain injuries, CTE, domestic violence, sexual assault. There's a lot of stuff that I contribute, not as much as I used to anymore, because I feel like we're not really getting anywhere with NFL and concussions. But what
Right.
happened last night, I don't know if you guys watched, I've stopped watching football because of
I know.
they've shown us who they are. For women, this is not, and I fought many years, hard and long, to get things changed at the NFL, and I did. And Roger Goodell, we have a love-hate relationship. He's the commissioner for NFL, so
Yes.
but whenever I speak to him, he listens. And if I speak to Nike, they listen. So I don't want to really lose those connections, because I built them up over 12 years.
Yep.
So when you say, so I'm worried about that now. So should I not be writing about concussions or violence against women or children or?
I was just saying political and religious is what he.
Oh, but I took it one step further and said, well, should I be careful on this other stuff that people know me for?
I'm trying to think. So Monica and I, we post privately or on our, well, everyone can see it, but we talk about Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, jiu-jitsu, dance, gymnastics, kids school, kids church. What are we into? I mean, everything we do is around the kids, but obviously real estate, good, positive, neutral, whatever. I think what you're talking about doesn't necessarily fall in the context of like, you know, if anything, you're putting out a public service announcement of a really positive PSA and awareness on that. So I actually don't see any negative in it. If you want to
Okay.
talk to Stephanie, but I think you're good to go on that end.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I don't want to put my DRE on my Twitter and then I get reported because I took a stance on.
yeah. I don't think like, you know, concussions would be the one.
No, because that's factual. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a fact. This happens, you know, if you do this, you could get this. I
Right.
mean, it's not like you're saying, oh, I don't, you know, you're racist or anything. It's
No,
just
no,
a
no.
fact, a medical fact.
Right, you know, to your point, if it's like something racist or against fair housing, those are the two big red flags. And then for a bonus, just, you know, let's all agree not to be political. you know?
Right.
And I might say, and that's not totally true, I've reshared things that I genuinely do want my friends to vote no on. You
Right.
know, like when they're trying to raise our tax on, you know,
Right.
the paper, I don't know, LAUSD, you know, funds. It's like, well, I believe the teachers should get their money, but maybe not from our taxes on our house, right? And you know,
Right.
there's some things that I've reshared on that end.
But that's not discriminatory.
Not at
I mean,
all.
That's
That's just advocacy,
right.
you know.
Or like the school bond measure that, you know, is going through.
Yeah, tell me that.
Okay,
There's
okay.
a ton of stuff.
But it won't raise taxes.
Right.
But- Okay, so let's go back to
Or like
racism,
$30.
because I'm a strong advocate against racism, sexism, ageism. And so a lot of the people I follow, we're all in the same wavelength, you know, there. So I do
Right.
speak out about it, but I don't, I think, you know, we all have biases, but I would never say anything that I read. Some of the
I
stuff is
know, for
pretty
sure.
bad.
And I'm glad that this is coming up because you just never know where it'll go. And Terry, you just had a question too.
The question, I love all your points. They're amazing. So thank you for sharing. My question is, let's say I make a little video about AUDs or something,
Mhm.
like a quick little video. Do I just go through and systematically just upload it to all of these?
Great question. So if you do it on Instagram, you can upload it right to your Facebook. And if you do it on Facebook, you can link it to your Instagram.
And then should I just post it to all those things? If it's a video or,
Totally do that.
because that makes it easy, right? I make a little video and then post it to everything.
Yeah, I forgot there's an app for that where it will pop up on YouTube, it'll pop up on LinkedIn, everything.
Oh,
But
that
there's
would be
things you don't want on LinkedIn, right? Like I wouldn't want to put Sevilla Saturday, as helpful as the video could be,
Right.
probably wouldn't put it on
But you
there.
could do it if you wanted to, like,
Absolutely.
it's cool to just post the same video on all the different. Oh, okay, cool.
Like what we do is the app, and forgive me if I'm wrong, because maybe you guys know better than me, but on the personal one on IG, I have access to all the songs of reels, right? But when I've done it on our Team La Familia page, it's very limited on what songs I can use on the business page, right? And then I learned that if I create something on our TLF page, the business page, I can reshare it to Facebook, our business Facebook, but then I can't save the same video and post it on my personal Instagram and Facebook. So this is what we learned. We learned if you want to create a reel, create it on your personal IG, reshare it on your Facebook, but by like putting under settings that you're gonna post it on Instagram and on your personal
Create
Facebook,
it where?
on your personal IG.
I think-
Oh, Instagram.
Oh.
Sorry. Oh, my God.
I'm like, what? You're where?
My bad. So you're creating on your personal Instagram. And then when you're ready to publish and hit share, make sure it's turned on for Facebook. It'll show up on your Facebook page. Go to your Facebook page. You can't save the video from Instagram to your phone. So go to your Facebook page, open it so it fills the whole screen, and then tap the 3 little dots at the bottom, and then it will say save video offline or to your device. So then you save your video to the device, then you go back to Instagram. I know it's an extra step, but you go back to Instagram and open your professional page, and then you upload the reel there, that saved video as a reel, and it'll show up on your Instagram page, business, and your
So you
Facebook
can't-
page.
Video something ahead of time and put it on Instagram. You have to actually film it.
Oh, no, you can totally create, like, Alessandra was saying that you can create a ton of content, save it on your
okay.
phone, and then at a
Oh,
later
and
date.
then add it to.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna do it with like all the background music or whatever background or edit you're using, it's
Oh.
weird that when I was messing around with it, it felt like extra work because I would do the reel on our business Instagram. And I had to recreate the whole thing because I couldn't save it to my phone. So I'd have to redo the whole reel and then, or just, I was kind of half-assing and going, gosh, it took me so long to make a 2-minute reel or 1-minute reel. I was so upset. I'm like, I'm not gonna do this.
Because of your background, music, you're using the past, you have to pay credits or something?
No, for us, it wasn't available. So I don't know, maybe Alessandra, it's available for you on yours or.
No, it's the same where you have to, like sometimes you have to save it or you can like save it and then edit it later, but it's easy
you
to
go.
kind of lose your stuff and then you have to remake everything. And it's
Yes.
really good to pick audio that's trending. And sometimes you can do your own educational sound or, content and you're talking, but also it's kind of good because the algorithm will push you more and you'll get more views. If that
There you
makes
go.
sense.
The algorithm,
Oh,
Yeah.
if you
with a
do
song
videos.
that's trending, kind
Oh.
of like Danger Zone or Running Up That
That is
Hill.
really good. That's a really good tip. Alessandra just said that's because everyone doesn't know about that.
Oh, you can.
It's
you
like
just
finding
play
the trending
song in the
music.
background, or you have to find it on a site that it's okay to use it, like,
Well, if you're on Instagram, it'll have like the background music already there.
no, but if I upload a video, you do a video ahead of time,
Oh, with a different song.
yeah.
It could get flagged. So like my
Oh,
daughter
okay.
was dancing to a song. And so
Oh.
it finally got flagged by
Oh,
Instagram 2 years later. And I'm like, this thing's been on here for like years.
And would you get in trouble, like, if a song had bad language in it, and then is that also?
No, there's some songs with bad music. Yeah, look at all this under page. He's like, and you're
Oh,
totally
okay.
cool.
Okay,
Take it from the 20-something-year-old that, hey, you're solid. So
and a lot of them do, okay,
maybe Gangster's Paradise is trending right now.
I know.
But there's no bad song, there's no bad words in the song. It's just
No.
good song. Good music. When music was good. I'm kidding.
Mhm.
Real estate business posts. So you want 2 or 20% of your postings to be listings, open houses, awards, speaking events. Well, which is kind of cool because early on, I would just leverage the classes I was a part of. Like even something like Ignite, I might take a photo of a quote or something or a screenshot and then post that as like, hey, here's something to think about. And then there you go. Or back when I was at the board at time, right, I would go to commercial day or commercial class and they would talk about marijuana dispensaries or whatever. And I would post about learning and expanding my knowledge there. And early on, it's not like we get recognition all the time, but when we did get recognized for something, it was kind of cool. And my family would be like, oh, wow, hey, good for you. And they'd be more inclined to maybe help a little bit, refer or whatever the case may be. And then of course, Charlie pointed out something really good, that community service aspect. So so what you were sharing earlier, Charlie, is so ideal because it's something that moves you and it's above and beyond just the personal postings or the fun stuff that you do in life. And it's beyond business, it's about giving back. And a lot of what we do in real estate has nothing to do with real estate. right?
Right.
If you guys have learned a lot from like interacting with us in this office, it really is about you being yourself and then promoting as an ambassador or brand awareness that, hey, when it comes to real estate, it's not too scary. We're here to help you, right? And then the community service aspect takes life of its own. Like for us, it's scouting with our kids. Awesome. That's our community service, and it's a ton of fun. So it doesn't even feel like volunteering. It just feels like we're just showing up to have a good time every time we're with them or we're out volunteering or camping or whatever.
It's like, you guys have to go.
Yeah, Max is like, no, I don't really need you.
Dad, you don't need a badge, okay, Dad, you don't get badge, Dad, okay.
Yeah, I actually, my uniform looks so empty, because I don't put any patches on there. But I've earned a couple patches. Monica has like a slew. She looks like an admiral,
I bet.
you know, 5-star general for the army.
Now listings, if you don't have any currently, you just say, hey, check out this listing. at this
So,
time.
no, that's a great question. Early
Okay.
on, brand new, I would take a photo of every house I went to on broker caravan,
Right.
right? Like today, we went to like 2 houses, and then we played hooky and had lunch together.
Yay.
So we said, oh, forget the other 2 houses, we're just gonna break and have lunch. But I would take pictures of the homes, and then early on, I made a collage out of them. You know, now Monica's making reels out of our home tours, but you could do a collage and just say, hey, I'm previewing homes, and this home is $1.7 million. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, HOA covered, blah, 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 blah. DM me for more details. And I just go through house after house after house on my day post or on the 24-hour post. And then I would do a collage of all the homes that I went to go see, classes I attended, and just do like an end of week report on real estate. And it was like, hey, I learned a ton about this market of fill in the blank. In this case, we would have taken Calabasas because we're here. When I first started, it was all about Sylmar, Granada Hills, North Ridge, Arleta, really the valley, you know, Porter Ranch, stuff like that. So that would be like kind of the business posts that we would be doing. And that was when we didn't have listings. And then when we did have listings, we leveraged the heck out of it. We took pictures of the sign, we took pictures of the open house. And then, and this 80-20 concept, it could be counterbalanced, right? You know, sometimes, especially when you're just in the thick of things, and you're being recognized for a bunch of stuff and things are happening, you're closing, you're delivering keys, all these things. There could be a point where like 80% is business, 20% is personal, right? Otherwise, you'd have to post like so much personal to counteract all the business. So think of it more like they were saying for one thing. There's never balance. It's always going to be counterbalance, right? So there'll be a time, Alexander, you're going to list like 10 homes. Charlie, you're going to be working with like 20 clients and 20 escrows at the same time. Terry Lynn, you're going to be busting it out. Dozens of listings out here in Agora Hills, and Joseph too, us too. Yeah, your personal is going to look like, dude, they're doing nothing but real estate. Yes, we are. We can help you too, right? So that's kind of the fun of that. Social media strategies. Real quickly, guys, connect with people you know or have met in one way, shape, or form. Post about your neighborhood, right? I've used geotags. I don't think they're going to talk about that, but use the geotags, especially if you're using your business page or if you're a public page on Instagram, because you never know who's searching those areas, right? Like we did one for West Hill for our Cub Scout path, and we had a few people actually pop in because it was on Instagram, you know, go figure. And they were like, oh, we know that church, blah, blah. Use images, congratulate new homeowners, post about listings, and engage. And the new homeowners, Monica and I, we use hashtag Keys Day, you know, so we're delivering keys and we're celebrating our clients, all that fun stuff. Here we go.
Quick question, Phil. So if you work like 4 different places, just post about some neighborhoods in each of those cities.
Yeah, or if you want to take it a step further, you create, I don't think they're gonna talk about it here. But there is a Facebook class you can take, but they actually encourage creating Facebook communities around those places. I would agree with Alexandra that you may need to block an hour or 2 a day, where that literally becomes maybe your marketing farm in the afternoon, and nurturing that base. And that's something Mike and I, we have a hard time accepting, because we grew up in a sales environment before real estate, that you had to talk to people, right? And like social media and emails are like the devil. So now we're told the opposite. We're told, hey, don't lose that muscle of talking to people and one-on-one, face-to-face conversation, but create a marketing farm and a social farm on this end. And she and I are kind of,
Quick question on Google reviews, because I only have like 10 or something.
that's more than us.
So can somebody review you even if they ended up not buying like they were looking?
Oh, 100%.
So we can review you like if you just like consulted, helped them with a pool, whatever.
You can have agents like me write a review about you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because then what's gonna happen, and we've done this once, and I actually did it for Amelia, and then no one did it for me, but we can have like a Google party, right?
Let's do it.
Yeah, and then we just go on like, oh, it's on Facebook, you want it on Facebook, great, I'll go on Facebook and give you a 5-star review. I'll give Monica a 3-star review.
Oh,
Bam, keep it
20
real.
stars. What are you talking
Gonna
about?
keep it real so that they're gonna know that we're not like ghosting the account or whatever. Utilize tech developments, post client testimonials, engagement creates engagement. Let's see here. I wanted to jump on participate in online communities. So if you already have an existing online community, for example, Laura High,
Right,
I'm gonna be on an online community,
yeah.
but like being one of the people who answers questions relatively, liking comments or maybe ignoring some posts, whatever.
Right.
Sometimes it's better to ignore posts than just to address them.
Yeah.
Here, more strategy, be authentic, don't be a jack of all trades, embrace video, use analytics to optimize your posts. So Alexandra was talking about how you can track the usage, the time of day that people are engaging with your Instagram page. Facebook, I believe, has the same thing. I know for sure Instagram does, because when you scroll through it, it actually shows when your quote unquote followers engage the most with your page. So you can actually show you like, oh, 4 p.m. in the afternoon, a lot of people are viewing your page. That's the time you need to post content, right?
Okay.
And then that's where you can get kind of that boost. Ask for help. Apparently we can call Alessandra if you're cool with it. You know, you're gonna get a bunch of DMs of people like, oh, hey, so I've got like 50 videos. What do I do with it? Or whatever it is, how do we stitch that together? And off we go. The video can get a little intimidating, right? And the amount of time I recorded a 2-minute video for Monica, but it took 20 tries to get it right.
Yes.
It's silly.
It takes that long.
Right, there's like a bunch of like on my phone. But the idea behind that is maybe if you wanted to start with a forward-facing tour of a house and do it on Facebook Live, like, hey, this is Philip over at KW Calabasas, touring, about to tour this $5 million home here in Agora Hills, whatever. And I just want to see if you guys want to take a look with me. And then people pop on, hey, oh, Joseph, you're on, man. High five. Thanks for the support and jumping on here with us. Any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll go through the home. And then from there, from facing the other way, you get more comfortable with turning the camera around or hitting the button and facing it at you.
Right.
Or early on, maybe you wear glasses so you're not like your eyeballs aren't all over the place. You know, but whatever moves you guys, I think you guys all look great. So thumbs up. Charlie, I haven't seen your face, but I'm going to assume that you look great in front of the camera too. Thumbs up.
Thanks. I tried, it's on there, but unless it's on my Zoom page, but it's not showing up with you guys.
I'll probably just go through the old email post because I know they do the welcome email, unless that hasn't come through yet.
Okay.
If you guys want, this is like a recap of everything that we covered today. If you guys want to do like a screenshot, Command Shift 3 for anyone on Mac is the way to go with that.
To be what?
Oh, it's a screenshot.
Oh.
Yeah, and then we're back into our success systems. Keep in mind our 10 conversations every day. And for the sake of this, we will also take 10 like 2-way text conversations or DMs or email conversations. Adding 10 contacts or editing them on your command, making sure we're getting the handwritten notes out there. And again, another one where in addition to or side by side with handwritten notes, if you guys want to send like a nice handcrafted email or you know, you really took the time to put an email together, thanking them for the time on the phone, just something where you can engage them. And what we covered today is 10-5-1 social media engagement. Some days it's DM, some days it's resharing something, some days it's posting, but all those little touches go a long way. And I'll end where we started, that there's the shift in the market is not just skills based, it's also going to be relationship based, right? The market that we just left was, hey, I need to sell and cool, you're an agent. I know you, I don't know you, we're just gonna get you out. We're gonna
I
get
need
you.
to get back on the handwritten notes, that's a big deal,
Mm-hmm,
because people don't open the other junk, like,
Yeah.
without it when it's just,
No, the handwritten notes are so important.
yeah.
there you go. It makes you stand out. Like we did this exercise about red ball versus a sea of white balls, right,
Yeah.
inside a bowl.
Yeah,
And if you were the red ping pong ball in a sea of white ping pong balls, you would stand out, right?
for sure.
Well, guess who doesn't do handwritten notes? Like Monica wrote me a 4-page letter the other day. So, but anyways,
Lucky you,
uh,
lucky you. Yeah.
well, I couldn't read it. And,
Like,
that was a,
my husband's like, no, for you to write a letter to you, I'm like, yes.
that's
no."
a venting letter. Yeah, but we worked through it, right? I think we got better. Damn, and she keeps it just jumped on with us. We're about to jump off, unfortunately. But this is recorded. Let me stop recording.
Awesome.
Hey, hopefully it helps. And I believe MJ,